A few days ago, I was accepted into the YouTube Partner Program. The goal of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours have both been met. And I want to talk about how that happened because honestly, 5 months ago, I had around 200 to 300 subscribers and zero momentum. I almost didn't come back. So today we're gonna take a minute to reflect on how I got here. And then I'm gonna share with you 5 tips that will hopefully give you your big push.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you say.
Look, I wanna start by acknowledging this, because I think sometimes in creative spaces, people rush past milestones. Either they downplay them to seem super humble or they over-accelerate them to seem super exciting. I don't really wanna do either of those. Hitting 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours to become eligible for the YouTube Partner Program, that genuinely means something to me. Not because of what it unlocks financially, I mean, well that too, that's really cool, I ain't gonna lie. But because of what it represents. It represents about 4 to 5 months of consistent work, of showing up even when the numbers weren't moving, of posting videos that got 200 views or less, and then choosing to post again anyway. So yeah, we celebrate, but then we get back to work because this is actually just the beginning. Let me take you back because I think context matters here. I started this channel in January of last year. I posted about 5 videos and then I stopped. I just stopped, just like that. I don't really have a dramatic reason for it. Life got in the way and then I became inconsistent. And without consistency, nothing really moves on YouTube. And that's just the truth. Then summer last year, I got laid off from my tech job. And at that point, I was like, I don't really want to go back. So I started, jotting down some plans. And then September rolled around and I returned to YouTube. And then even then, I wasn't really fully committed. I posted maybe 2 videos, but in October, I made a decision. I said publicly on this channel that I was going to post consistently until the end of the year. And I want to show you what that actually looked like. 8 videos from middle of October to the end of December. It was not perfect. That wasn't every single week like I intended for it to be, but it was more consistent than I've ever been on this platform. And for the first 2, nearly 3 months, almost nothing moved. My subscriber count barely shifted. Views were low. Some videos got a few hundred views and just kind of sat there. And I want to be honest about what that felt like because I think a lot of you watching this are probably in the exact place right now. There's a specific type of frustration that comes with creating content and feeling like nobody's watching. You put hours into a video, you film it, edit it, stress over the thumbnail, write the description, post it, and then it gets about 180 views in a week or less. And 80 of those are probably you checking the analytics anyway. I'm not gonna pretend that didn't affect me. But here's what I kept coming back to. I made a promise on camera, publicly. And I think that accountability, even if it was only a handful of people who saw it, was what kept me going. I also kept reminding myself that YouTube is a long game. Every creator you admire had a version of this, a period where the numbers didn't reflect the effort, where it felt like you were just putting content out there into the void. And I would constantly watch videos that would remind me of that. The difference between the people who actually make it and the people who don't isn't really talent. It's not even quality at the early stages. It's who keeps going when nothing seems to be working. So I kept going because I said I would. Just before Christmas, I posted a video and it was called The Gear I Use to Film My Social Media Content as a Solo Creator. And within 24 hours, it had over 1,000 views. Now, I know it doesn't sound like much in the grand scheme of like YouTube. 1,000 views in 24 hours isn't viral. It's not even close. But for me, at that point on this channel, that was completely different to anything that had happened before. Something clicked. The algorithm started serving it to people. Comments started coming in, subscribers started moving. And I want to be clear on something. That video didn't succeed because it was my best video. I don't think it was. I enjoyed making it. It succeeded because it answered a specific question that people actively wanted to know. It was practical, it was focused, and it matched what my audience actually needed at the time. That was the lesson. Not to go viral, be specific, be useful, and answer real questions. All right, let me show you how my actual watch hours are broken down because I think this is genuinely useful for anybody who's working their way towards monetization. Monetization. Wow, terrible. My 2 highest performing videos right now are how to film yourself using free camera angles and how to film yourself with an iPhone. Now, these 2 videos alone contributed a huge portion of my watch hours, but what I want you to notice is that it wasn't just one video. It was several videos, each contributing their piece. 1,000 hours here, 800 there, 600, 500, 400, all of them adding up. That's the compound effect in action. Each video you post is a new asset, a new entry point for someone to find your channel. And over time, those assets just stack on top of each other. And what's really cool about this is actually this one video didn't really move for the first 30 days. It was on around 200 to 300 views. But when this one started moving, it ended up recommending that one on the side. And then it started taking off and it never really looked back from there. It reminds me of something I said in a video clip a while back. Each video is a door, and the more doors you have, the more ways people can find you. All right, I want to take a moment here, okay? Because none of this means anything without the people who actually watch the videos. Not the numbers, the people. Look, I've had comments on this channel that I've genuinely gone back and read more than once. And not because I was checking analytics, but because they actually meant something to me. Someone wrote, and this one, it kind of started with me. I've watched a lot of content on making videos, and this is some of the most raw and practical stuff I've come across. No filler, no hype, just clear points you can actually use. And that's exactly what I set out to do when I started. So to hear that reflected back to me, yeah, that meant a lot. And then somebody else wrote, I'm calling it now. This channel is going to be absolutely huge in 6 to 9 months. Now, look, I don't know if that's true, but I appreciate the faith, genuinely. And it has pushed me to keep going. And then there was this one. Someone said they rarely comment on videos, but they felt compelled to do so. They said that they'd come across so many videos on filming, but this was by far the best and most concise they'd seen for beginners. I started this channel to share what I know in a way that actually is useful. Not theoretical, not padded out, but yeah, practical and straight to the point. All while allowing you guys to get to know me a little bit. And comments like that just tell me that I'm on the right track. And to everybody who's subscribed, who's commented, who's liked, who's shared, genuinely, thank you. You're the reason this milestone happened in the first place. And you're the reason I'll keep going long after this. Okay, let me break down what I think actually moved the needle, because I want this video to also be useful to you guys and not just a celebration. Okay, so grab your notepads and let's lock in. Point number 1, being specific beats being broad. Every video that performed was pretty specific. So instead of saying how to film content, it was how to film yourself using 3 camera angles. And instead of saying iPhone tips, it was how to film yourself with an iPhone, including the gear, the settings, etc. The more specific the promise in the title, the more likely YouTube is to serve it to the right person. Point number 2, committing publicly creates accountability. I genuinely believe that. Making that commitment video in October kept me posted. Because when you say something out loud on camera, you create a version of yourself that you want to live up to. Use that. Point number 3, the first 20 videos are kind of like practice. I posted 5 videos right at the start and then I stopped. And then I posted 8 videos in a couple of months. And then consistently since December, I've posted once every week. Looking back, the early stuff was necessary, not because they performed well, because they really didn't, but because making them made me better. You can't skip this phase. Every video I created, I tried to improve upon one thing. And that might have been the title, that might have been the thumbnail, that might have been the intro. So keep looking for ways you can get better, even by 1%. Point number 4, momentum is real, but it comes after the flat line. Almost every creator who sticks it out can describe this same experience. A long flat period of nothing and then a shift. I lived it. The gear video just before Christmas was my shift. So don't quit before your shift arrives. And finally, point 5, treat every video as a long-term asset. YouTube is not Instagram. A reel from last month is kind of history over there. But YouTube, a video from 6 months ago, can still be getting 500 views every single week. Think of every video as something that will end up working for you while you sleep. In my 2026 goals video, I said I wanted to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. We've just passed 4,000 as I'm filming this. And I'll be honest, when I set that goal in January, 10K felt hella ambitious. Now it kind of just feels like a milestone on the way to something a lot bigger. I also set myself a personal target that I talked about publicly on Instagram. I wanted to be monetized by the end of Q1. The work on that has been done. What I've learned though, is the goal isn't really the point. The goal is kind of just direction. But what matters is the systems you build to get there. The consistency, the improvement, the commitment to posting, even when it's inconvenient. The goal just keeps you moving forward. So what does the next chapter look like? The old me would have said 10,000 subscribers is the next target, but actually the goal is to just keep improving, to keep providing value, finding my voice, connecting with the community that is growing here and enjoying the process. It can be so easy to get lost in the numbers of it all, but simply helping people to create content for themselves or their business that could lead to life-changing opportunities, that really does feel like enough for me right now. So that's what I'm gonna keep doing. Of course, in the process, I wanna land genuine sponsorships on this channel so that I can keep making these videos. But that's the job, to keep making useful stuff, to keep improving and stay consistent. The monetization, oh my gosh, milestone is a marker, a lovely one, but it's a marker, not the destination. So if you're watching this and you're in that early stage, you know, low views, slow subscriber growth, and wondering if it's all worth it, I want you to hear this. I was at 260 subscribers around there in October. I almost stopped entirely earlier that year. The videos that are now at 23,000, 24,000 views didn't start there. They started at 0, just like yours. So keep going, be specific, be useful, show up consistently, and trust that compound effect is real. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already, because we're on the way to 10K and I'd love for you to be a part of that community. And if you've been on this journey with me since the earlier days, genuinely, thank you. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace and love every single time. Then.